All right. Are we live yet? No, hey, we're live. Hey, okay. Do you know we actually go live a few seconds before it says we're going live? It's true. Hey, True Believers, England team here, and I'm with the real Dr. VENKMAN. Apparently, he's too shy to show his face.
I just want to say that these allegations against me are false.
Right, except for the true ones. So I kind of started a little bit of a fire. I put up a 33-second clip of a longer, it's actually about an hour's worth of material there. DC Comics had a get together in 2018 where they got together all the gay writers, basically, and they were talking about what they wanted to do and what their plans were. And this 30-second clip, you can check it out, is basically Vita Ayala saying, well, if there is any ambiguity to a character, we queer it up. Where you see ambiguity, let's go on. The thing, of course, that we've seen happen is that they create the ambiguity and then they go ahead. Oh my gosh, Connor and Tim Drake are friends. Doesn't that make them gay? No, it doesn't. But okay, now we created the ambiguity. Let's make one of them gay. And the reason why I did that was because Gary over at Nerdrotic found a document that said basically what Vita Ayala had said 5 years ago. So I figured, okay, I'm going to talk about it. But first, I really want to say this. Gary, welcome to the party, pal. Seriously, I can't believe this is like news. I've been saying this for ever since I saw this clip. That not only is this the agenda, but it is backed, by the way, by the people in charge. This is just the way it is. The problem is when you have this kind of thing, you have characters changed at the core, and that absolutely changes the character. Look at Tim Drake now. Tim Drake is not the same character you read in Red Robin or in Batman. He's just not. They changed the core. Now all he is gay. That's the way they write him. There is no hero with Tim Drake anymore. And yes, I've read his book. I know this to be true. And I think that's the problem. Now, if they created their own character, if for some reason they wrote it and it was a bit more organic or something, I think they could do that with John Kent. I think John Kent is one of the biggest missed opportunities as far as the LGBT community. If they wanted to actually have a major character be gay, Superboy, awesome. You could have told a story of a kid who was growing up and had to deal with it, especially with his best friend being from the Middle East. It would have been an incredible story. They screwed that up. They f***ed it up in order for these shock advertisements. Oh, we're going to make Tim Drake gay now. And guess what? Connor Kent ain't far behind, if you guys don't know. As a matter of fact, I would not be surprised if we just saw the gamut. I mean, for a while, what's his name was teasing it with Batman. And trust me, if that went over a lot better than it did, we would probably be seeing, I just said trust me and then probably, so that's contradicting it. But point being is that I have very little doubt that if that miniseries, if that scene where he was coming on to the guy to steal the documents, if that went over better, I bet you we would have seen a bisexual Bruce Wayne. So I have a question for you as a casual observer. How do people get 400 views on 38 seconds versus other other episodes? Shorts are like that. People are more willing to toss in for I feel like 30 seconds, I guess.
I feel like that's become the new attention span.
For it really is, unfortunately. That's why I was doing the live stream. It's like, okay, to answer a question. Actually, Christopher Barker has been in a bit of a tiff. Not with me. I have nothing against. My whole thing was, let's temper it down a little bit. I banned one guy off of this thread already. And I just want to make sure that, of course, everybody's arguing the point and not the person. But Chris actually put to me, why did you post that clip? I did kind of explain it just a little bit ago because I saw what the Black Pills found, and I figured, okay, let's actually have a conversation about this. And I thought that it was a good clip to kind of stir up and say, hey, this is what they said, and this is where I stand. That's where I stand. Is what this channel really is all about. I welcome other voices. I invite other voices to be part of the team and everything. But make no mistake, this is England Team's channel. So yeah,
it's an icebreaker. That's basically what the clip is, to get you talking about the subject.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
Christopher Barker, why would you not be upset? So you keep asking the question, but you never answer it. You never answer that. I actually put it to you in the comment section. I'm not going to talk to you on, I'm not going to talk to you through the comment section. We're not having that conversation. So here you go. You jump on and we'll have a calm conversation. You lose your shit, I'm booting you because as Venkman knows, I'm very close. I'm looking for a fight right now.
My question is,
I've been betrayed by somebody I thought was actually a friend and a friend of the channel. And now I'm looking for a fight. So I'm not going to take any over-the-top bullshit. Jump on Chris, and we're going to have a conversation about this. But one thing, and this is something Chris is asking, this is something that Tristan always says, why is it so important? I'm asking you. I'm asking you the same thing. Tim Drake has been heterosexual for 30 years. He's had many relationships. I actually have another short, by the way, on the Old Man Comics. I'll bring it over here, that shows off all the girlfriends. He has been changed to his core, and then he has been written as someone else. And yet no narrative reason has ever been brought up. And by you, by Tristan, or anyone who would go, oh, why is it so important? Ask yourself.
So here's my
Go ahead.
My speculation is the reason they, instead of doing an Elseworld, doing one version of the character where he's gay, they do it all because they know that, well, you bigots will not buy that comic book, that single one alone, so we're going to force you to basically accept the character. Like,
right.
That's my thought process. Whenever I ever see they take a straight character, it's obviously straight, and make it gay everywhere. Because we do see them yell online, well, if you don't like the fact that Tim's gay, you're a bigot. No, we just don't like when you actually have to shoehorn a character's sexuality to change it to fit your agenda.
And that's the whole, and that's what they admitted to in the document, and it's what I used Vita Ayala as the example because that was long ago. The only person who stood out, and according to Eric, has changed his mind, was Steve Orlando when Vita Ayala says what she says about. Oh, well, we're going to queer them up wherever. And I'm paraphrasing. She did use the word queer them up.
Yeah.
But she says, wherever there is ambiguity, we'll queer them up. And as I said before, they create the ambiguity. That's what happened with Poison Ivy and Harley. Poison Ivy and Harley were friends in an episode of Batman Adventures. And then they were friends in the comics. And wait a second. When women are friends, don't they want to scissor? I mean, isn't that really what happens? There can actually never be two friends who are women and they don't want to have sex with them. In all honesty, and I would have to ask the writers, what kind of male fantasy are you creating here? Because I'll guarantee you there were a lot of guys going, yeah.
So we're not against gay characters. There already are gay characters. North Star,
there have been gay characters.
Midnighter.
There have been gay before him, even. There have been gay characters. Nobody's against gay characters. That's a freaking straw man. Shut your trap and actually make an argument. Actually make an argument. Okay, now thank you for trying, Chris. Once again, I don't want to argue on the comments, and it's not just basically because I'm kind of wired up right now. It's also because I want to make sure that you are represented properly. When you do a debate like this, text does not come off as well as speech, and that gives me a huge advantage.
So see,
and I don't want that, because you might make some really good points, and I want those points to seem valid. You have an open door invitation to come on and debate me, or just state your point to it. You have an open invitation to come on. There's no contention. We just see things differently. I do this with Tristan all the time. Me and her rarely see eye to eye. I've been on her show many times, and we have some really good conversations, and you're welcome anytime. As a matter of fact, if anybody disagrees, please come on, and you're more than welcome. I left the link in the chat.
Yeah, I understand. The Vita, their always argument is that there's no representation for our characters, for gays and stuff like that. It's like, it's because you guys choose not to write those characters in anything anymore. Having Midnight or even North Star and more of Marvel, they had to take a more popular character and just make them gay. I mean, if you want to do that, do it in an Elseworld story, do it in stuff. But no, we got to make it so no matter from this point on, this character will never like girls again.
Yeah, the one story that actually bothered me was the spoiler. Oh, I'm totally fine with it. It's like, God dang it. No,
we're not. But we're not. I mean, I'm not personally not triggered by a gay person's spotlight. But if a person was been straight for the past 30 years, and you purposely say, "I'm gonna make him gay," just so you can virtue signal, that's the shit I don't like.
That's one of the things, of course, that's real. Look, the real problem. Tim Drake had a history, and what ends up happening is that history gets thrown away for stories. These are not stories that are going to be lasting and surviving the test of time. They are not stories that are going to be doing that. Okay, hold on, Chris. You didn't read my response to this, so guys, I will respond to this. Okay, Chris, you've been around for a while. Okay, you know me. All right, and this is why I said in my comment, you need to step away from the debate for a little bit, because it's doing something. It is making you a little bit more angry than you should, or something, because you really should be able to see when somebody is exaggerating for comedic effect to make a point. All we heard about Lightyear for a good chunk of time was that lesbian kiss. So yes, I made a joke that they advertised it like a lesbian porno. It was a joke. I've actually seen Pixar movies, and I've seen lesbian pornos. I know the difference between the two. It was a joke. But I think you got so riled up from that other guy that you thought that I was coming at you road rage style, and that wasn't the case.
No.
So once again, if you're getting just raged out about this, simmer down a little bit. Take a step away and come on back, because there you go.
I want to first say hello to Eric Breen, and then
hello, Eric. How you doing, sir?
And then
I'm all right.
Oh, cool.
I see Ace too. That's meeting us halfway, but they'll never go where a character likes a guy and a girl. It always seems to be where they want to take a straight character and turn them completely alien, where they never even look at a girl or erase the fact that Stephanie was ever with Tim. They want you to have, like, the whole time he was with Stephanie, his retcon is that he was pining after Connor. That's Megan Fitzmartin. She hates basically straight characters, or it is any characters in general. These people.
Is she like Greg Rucka? Like Greg Rucka has never met a woman that he can't make a lesbian. Greg Rucka has a lesbian fetish. Let's just get that out of the way here.
Now imagine this. Imagine they took a character like North Star, who's been gay this whole time, and just suddenly said, you know what? He likes girls now. He only likes girls. How pissed would you be?
Well, right now, it probably not that much, because most of the current comic book readership doesn't remember there was a North Star.
Yeah, much less. Okay, now, guys, I gotta take care of the bird. I'll be right back.
You had me at scissoring. Great, yes.
Yeah, Meyer, long time no see. Yeah, that's the better point would be, because people, even though she's not being used that much right now, if all of a sudden Kate Kane got in a straight relationship, the same people that cheer from the rafters every time they get to take a straight character and make him gay would absolutely lose it, because to these people, the champion this there is nothing else in comics more important than making a character gay. And you cannot convince me otherwise.
It's lazy writing. It's lazy writing. It's so much easier to take a well-established character that's liked, change it to what you want it to be to push your agenda, than actually go out and do the hard work and actually make a character that people like.
Well, here's the other thing: the characters that aren't the gay characters that aren't being used, most of them had more to them than being gay. So it's easier just to erase a character, a character's sexuality, change it to what you want it to.
Wow.
And then that's all that character is going forward. If you see, because now all we have to compare Tim's new personality was when he was straight, and that isn't even the same Tim Drake anymore. So it doesn't matter. It's like it's a brand new character. The other one never existed.
Exactly.
But if you if you started writing Apollo and Midnighter as being nothing but they're gay, it would be easy to see just how much better written they were as gay characters by the last group of writers that preceded them. And that's why I think that's maybe the reason why you don't see those characters get used very often.
Let's see what we got. Oh, there was an echo. Yeah, he had his radio on. You had me at scissoring. Most people do. Bird aside, no, I'm not killing the bird as much as you guys might want me to.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters they kind of don't really use anymore, especially DC. Kate Kane is
she was straight in the 50s. She was introduced as a lesbian in 2006.
By whom?
I don't remember if that was Rucka. I don't remember.
That was Rucka.
But the difference was here's where comics did a big time shift when we eased into all new, all different. Kate Kane was originally what is known as a lipstick lesbian. That long red hair was real.
Yep.
But when they changed her to an army brat and someone who was don't ask, don't tell it out of the army, they changed everything about her because because men actually liked that version of Batwoman, straight men, and we can't have that.
Yeah, she was written actually very well. I liked her run in Detective, and I liked her run in Rebirth. That was a good that was a good comic.
Yeah, that was the new Kate Kane. But I said the original concept. She was because the first scene, one of her exes show up, and Renee Montoya shows up, and they hinted that they had known each other in the past. And I remember, Renee looks at her and looks at Kate and says, "You don't know her." Kind of like say, quit checking her. But it was, and she was well written in that. But again, I said there was more to her than just being gay.
People forget that what was the detective from comics, from Ash Comics, the blonde that's in turn of being a lesbian. I forget what her name is. Do you remember? Crap.
What book?
She's a detective. She took over for a while in the Batman book. She actually had a relationship with Kate Kane.
Maggie Sawyer.
Maggie Sawyer started out as being a character who had this is the correct way I'm saying, the correct way to do it though. She started out, having a relationship, with her ex-husband, tried to wake him up after her kid is kidnapped, but then she ultimately became to realize that she was a lesbian, and she's been written as an actual character, not just a character trope. And that's the thing. Like when they take a character, they forget everything that the character is about, and it becomes all about their sexuality. And there's nothing to do with the character. It becomes less interesting for the character. Okay. It's because they don't it's like almost like they don't have a person who doesn't know their rights, a gay character. Are they having straight people writing this, or is this actually a gay person?
No,
and this is just a tinfoil hat. I have no proof of this, but my theory on this is that you've got a lot of LGB writers who have decided that they wanted to, as Vida said, queer everything up where they can, but because they feel they haven't seen themselves represented in comics, they're giving us a romanticized version of things. It's like when it's kind of like when for a while when a black guy was was portrayed as the bad guy in a book or a movie or whatever, it would be seen as racist. And at this point, if you're not able to, I think you're kind of getting the gay characters the way that you would get some black characters, or at least the response to it, because you're not actually able to get the gamut when they allow gay characters to be written just as people. Have you ever watched The Walking Dead? Of course, I know you have, but if you watched The Walking Dead, there's a character on there named Aaron, very prominent character, took over leadership roles after Rick left and so forth. Very strong character as well. If shit needs to get done, he gets it done. He's gay.
Yeah. Aaron,
and he is not written as only a gay guy. He's written as a competent fighter, provider, father, so forth and so on. And he's gay. A lot of, as RDV said earlier, and as I said about Tim Drake is nothing but now. He's not the hero he used to be. They didn't write a gay character. They didn't make a character. They made more like a character who is gay, because that's the only thing they're focusing on now. He is not a three-dimensional character anymore. And Tim Drake was a three-dimensional character. And he had somewhere near 170, 180 issues of his own, of his own series to prove it. He was made a solid three-dimensional character, and that's been all torn down for their for their agenda. Now, just to show you what started this, just to show you where I did want to call out Gary and the Black Pills. And by the way, that would have been a great 1950s rock and roll band name. But and look, I get it. Gary knows that this has been around. I think, though, maybe this has been the first time he's seen proof. That's one of the reasons why I posted the clip that I posted on my shorts. If you guys want to watch that, please do. It's only 30 seconds, so even if you step away, you can be right back into the conversation. But this is the document that Gary found, or somebody sent him. I'm not. Here he goes. It is from the Writers Guild of America, and it says, excuse me, I got to move this to read it properly. It says, this panel will bring together LGBTQ. By the way, it's LGB. Just saying. T has nothing to do with it, and Q's are fucking it up for everybody. Writers and film TV executives to discuss the process of adapting comic book IP for film and television, with a focus on breathing life into queer characters, either those already queer on the page or reinterpreting legacy characters in a new queer light. Okay, moderated by Eric Anthony Glover, and then it goes on to say you got James Tinian, Roberto Aguirre Sacasa, Thomas Page, and it just basically says who's a part of it. This is the Writers Guild of America. Now, this is not just comic books that they're talking about. They're talking about the sci-fi. They're talking about well-established IP, as we've been watching everything just go in some way, shape, or form, whether it be race swapping, whether it is changing a heterosexual character to a homosexual character. But there is an agenda. It has been announced. It's been announced long time ago. Now, granted, what I showed you was a writer and a whole saying that they were going to do this, and a whole bunch of writers agreeing with her, except for Steve Orlando at the time, really kind of did not agree with her on that position. So I do have to give him props, although Eric told me that he's kind of reneged on that position since.
I'll just say this overall is the fact that I can't stress enough. when you look at these characters written today, like when they take a gay character, they do not want to take any time to tell an epic story. Like you know, if anything, it's you tell it's more. It is an agenda. Look what they did with Jonathan Kent. They aged him up so they could turn him gay. They were afraid they have a young 14-year-old boy turning him gay for some reason.
And once again, it would have been such a better story.
And
I have no problem with Jonathan Kent.
They aged him up so he could join the Legion. The changing his sexuality came later
because they didn't have Connor Kent. You know, they could have sent Connor Kent to the future and told the same story.
But the way they went, as I said, the way they robbed him of being the natural, basically like when a kid comes out, you know, says, you know what, I might be gay, going through the struggle. Instead, issue one, you know what, I'm gay.
Now, I do invite, if anybody disagrees, by all means, come on in. You're more than welcome. I left the link in the chat. It will be a civil conversation, and there will be no slurs. I will not have that. I'll boot you if you're in the chat. If you're on the panel, I'll boot you for good. There will be no slurs. I am specifically, by the way, sensitive to gay slurs. My daughter had come out to me, and fortunately I wasn't allowed to tell you that when I first told you that. She got a little bit mad. So yeah, I do not appreciate slurs of any kind, but you are welcome to come on in now. So what is my point as far as saying that, especially if I'm inviting people who disagree, because I have heard no more vile things than I have heard from the people who say they are more tolerant. The most heinous insults, the most heinous of as I say, slurs, everything, the worst of it that I have ever heard has come from people who say they're more tolerant, from people who are on the other side of the culture war, so to speak. Especially if you are a black person who's conservative, the people on the left will jump on you like nobody's business. If you are a gay person who is conservative, the left will just freaking eat you alive. But so that's why I say it. And that's why I say it, especially when I'm inviting people on the left to come on in and debate. I have heard so much vile stuff from you. Please, no slurs. And by the way, saying white in a derogatory manner is in fact, meaning towards race, of course, is in fact racist. And I will not I will not have that either. So there you go. I wonder if you have to be in that guild to write for the big two. I don't know. That's something.
Yeah, Rango.
I know, right? Twiddles is really, he's a green bird. So you're seeing Robin, I believe it is.
He's a Picasso.
Yeah.
Oh, Wonder Woman's ass on him.
No, that's Wonder Girl's crotch.
Oh, okay. Even better.
Yeah, that's what you're seeing. It looks kind of cool. I've been watching him all the time. I'm just very happy that he's decided to sleep. But we have seen this, and it's an unfortunate thing because there are stories to be told. There are real stories to be told, and they're not being told. Unfortunately, Tim Drake has just been messed up. If you've read his new book, first of all, Riley Rosmo should not be a comic book artist. But if you've read his new book, it is disgustingly bad. And I'm not talking about I'm disgusted with him being gay. I'm talking about the writing and the art is disgustingly bad. It should never been approved. Even if you're going to be writing a story about a gay Tim Drake, write it better. Make us care. Make it put an emotional hook there. It is one of the most horrendously written books I've ever seen.
Actually, it's not wrong to be disgusted about him being gay in context of the book, because of all the characters that have had their sexualities changed in the last 10 years, that one feels the most like, gotcha, we got him from you. Ha. What are you going to do about it?
Well, that's actually the way they act in their interviews.
Yeah.
You ever notice so quickly? You ever notice that whenever they write a gay character, it has to be the feminine gay character where he can't catch a football?
Yeah, it's kind of like the what's his name?
Like they don't understand there's characters that get gay and still fight.
What's that guy who dresses like a girl and then like insults all of womanhood? Dylan something or other.
Yeah, Biden's best friend.
Them writing Tim Drake as gay is kind of like the comic book version of that Dylan guy.
It's kind of like what do you call that? Sexist or stereotypical when they do that. Like they don't understand. Like there's not everyone acts that way. You know, did Rock Hudson act that way?
No, actually. Although in one of his TV shows, he does clap and he goes, ah, and it's like really. Like,
but I mean, like, not everyone's like, oh my gosh, like the Valley Girl, like gay.
Yeah, that is true. Actually,
that is the most offensive thing, though. Because
like Aaron, the character of Aaron in Walking Dead.
Yeah, he's not. That was more Eric than Walking Dead. Sorry,
Miss So is saying, as an LGBTQ person, which by the way, Miss So, you could just say, hey, you know, this is what I believe. She's saying, hold on, let me read this. As an LGBTQ person who's tired of seeing straight characters made bi or gay, that is tokenism, not representation. What I've been saying for 5, 6, how long have I been doing this? Yeah. It's presentation. It's not representation. Your gay characters are being used to drag you in and go, oh, isn't that nice? No, it's not nice because they're not actual characters. It's not representation. It's presentation. Look, we got a gay guy. Or look, we made a straight character gay. Let's see. Also, once they are swapped, many gradually disappear or are poorly written. I think they disappear because they are poorly written. People just don't want to see them anymore. But let's face it, Tim Drake had been disappeared by Damian Wayne a long time ago.
Can you imagine though if they made Batman to say he's been gay this whole entire time? He's been taking little boys under his wing. That's creepy. That's Kevin Spacey, Batman. Sorry.
Dr. Wortham was right.
Well, according to modern writers.
Yeah.
What are they bringing that up again? The Batman being gay?
Well, no. I'm just saying.
I brought it up earlier.
If they made a Batman gay, I mean, do an Elseworld. Like I said, if you want to try something new, do it as an Elseworld story. Like it's just annoying when you have to like force it and now it's permanent, no matter what, in the main continuity. Because to me, it's like if you don't accept, and that's as Eric, you point out, if we don't accept it, then we're Nazis, we're bigots because we don't like what they're writing with the character. Well, if I don't like the version of Batman they're writing, whether he's straight or gay, it just means I doesn't like that character, that version. I'll read a different writer.
Yeah. You know? I like Glenn. I said this the other day. Glenn's saying you can't change a person's sexuality. This is leftist and also leftist. Let's make this straight guy gay. That's one of the things. The other night we were talking about something similar, and I brought up that it's offensive because it kind of alludes to the point that being gay is a lifestyle choice rather than just what you're born as. And I do believe you're born the way that you are. And no, you can't change my mind, guys.
It can be influenced.
The way the argument on the left was always you're born that way and there's nothing you can do to change that. That worked during the please accept us phase, but now we've graduated into we demand you celebrate us phase. Now they've moved the goalpost to you can realize you are at any point in time, which I guess in some cases is true, but not the percentages that they're doing it in comics. So that's just, and if you try to argue that point, that will be their comeback. That people do realize later in life, in some cases, that they've been living a lie. But they're not putting that much thought into it.
You can't deny though that it's lazy writing to take a character that's been straight for 30 years, popular, and ignore the existing gay characters, just to say, you know what, I did this.
No, I agree, and I said, Christopher, his comment, they do that because it's a popular thing to do these days. I would ask, where is it popular other than in the writers' room?
Yeah,
and in the pirate sites. Because the paying customer, it's not popular among the paying customers.
Well, I was gonna say right now, the pirate site's 18 Howard. Right now, I don't care where you're reading that. I don't hear anybody praising Trini Howard's Catwoman. They think it's
The
the worst
pirates,
shit.
they don't like it in the pirate sites. They like it on Twitter.
Yeah.
The pirate
All right,
sites
that's
is
fair.
just people who are the black pills that don't want to spend the money on it but want to complain about it.
Yeah.
All
I said
right.
I read online, but I also I buy the physical book every week. I just prefer the digital format.
It's easier to make a video.
That too. I would love to have,
Yeah.
Marvel was doing, you get the digital code. DC doesn't do that.
Yeah, Miss So saying when folks say it's a choice, then I ask them, when did you choose to be straight? It's not a choice, so they need to leave the straight characters alone. Exactly. It's not a lifestyle choice to be gay. Write a new gay character or use one of the ones that have come before. And I get it. North Star is not as popular. Hulk and Wiccan is not as popular as Robin. And it's the same thing that they used for the Death. Oh, look, Robin's gay now. And it's not Dick Grayson, the one that most people in the world know. Same with the Death. Oh my gosh, they killed Robin. And no, it wasn't the kid from the 1960s TV show. It was a whole different one. But at least they could say the name. It's like, I have no proof of this, but I will guarantee you the reason they called that book Superman Son of Kal-El is so they could say they have a gay Superman.
LK, I don't follow people on Twitter as far as the writer stuff, but I wouldn't be shocked if she was. I liked her Black Widow story because, it nothing what she's saying on Twitter. It's not like it's not where Vita says it and then she does it. Kelly Thompson can say what she wants, the virtue signal what she wants, but and Black Widow book was great.
I liked it. I liked what I read.
Yeah, because it wasn't like Captain Marvel. Her woke policy is going to Captain Marvel, and then I said, LK said, "Are you sure that was even her writing Black Widow? Because it didn't seem like her writing." I get it. It's weird.
She actually did complain about editorial hamstringing her and Captain Marvel, and she wanted her to face obstacles. Editorial wouldn't let him. Marvel actually has a policy you can't Carol has to be perfect. She came out and said that.
I said I know. The woman that's going to be writing Thor was given a series and said, "Can we just make this a comic book series and not be all about girl power?" And that was immediately slapped down.
Yep.
Yeah, it's God, what was I saw today about? That's another thing altogether. Is women in comics now aren't allowed to face any adversity,
which makes them boring, which makes people not want to read.
Because
it seem like nobody wants a female character, or we're all horrible guys because we just don't want boring.
I saw something today. I responded to a tweet thread yesterday, and it was strictly about comics. Because it was somebody posted a picture of Fantastic Four 200, and I said, in a perfect world, that would have been the last Doctor Doom story because Reed finally gets the definitive blah blah blah. Then he started talking about other anniversary issues, and they eventually got to Avengers 200. And one person basically was just like, "Oh, this is the worst thing ever." It was a scar on comics, and I thought about engaging, and it's not a bad guy or anything. But it's like, no, One More Day was a scar on comics. This was just a not the best written story at a time when things happened to male and female characters. But I could tell this person was outraged because something happened bad to Carol Danvers, who at the time, like I said, it wasn't even presented as something bad happening to her. That was retcon back when I guess they read it a little closer. Did you realize what we just did here? And the next story kind of, they retconned it to where it wasn't the seduction. It was more like, it was like the opposite of Luke and Laura. But now you can't even, a female hero came stub her toe.
Yeah, you remember Kitty Pryde one punching a Sentinel?
As Maranya pointed out, The only villains can be straight white men. Any hint of checkbox of character makes them unavailable to be evil. We were talking about a couple days ago. We were talking on Friday night. We're talking about on that Wednesday. The main villain was a black girl at the top, and people flipped their minds. What? She can't be a villain.
Wait, what are you on Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah,
show.
The thing is, people who said that didn't watch the show, because she gets a hero's moment. She actually in one scene saves Wednesday.
I know, but I'm saying those people only want it for 1 minute though. They don't want any character of color or a gay in a bad light.
Yeah, Lord help us if we make a black character these days a three-dimensional character. It's ridiculous. It's it's gotten this way. What gets me, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I've even got receipts to back it up. We were over this. We were done with this. These freaking college students that have come out and decided that we need to rehash all of the freaking arguments people as old as I have been having for 40 fucking years. We were done. You guys fucked up. You guys actually AOK'd segregation, you ignorant twinks. The fuck you thinking? Seriously. We're done. Sorry, racism dead. Oh, but there's still no. Fuck you. The only racist thing on the books is what do you call it? The thing that if you have a white guy and a black guy together, you got to get the black guy. You're never gonna get rid of racist, you dumbass. They're gonna be here for fucking ever. And I'm sorry, but most of them are on the left saying that black people are weak because white people are superior. God damn, have you actually heard the way leftists talk about black people? Oh, you can't do that because white people are stopping you. How? I'll get this is something serious. Serious. Listen to me. 100 fucking %. If it is 2022, if you are letting racism or homophobia stop you, that's on you. If somebody says something racist, we kick them out of the club. You're off the island. Have a good day. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Done.
Go ahead, Eric.
ESPN is still.
Here's a rose. Take it and leave the mansion. You're done.
As of Friday, ESPN was still building entire segments around Jerry Jones being in
Give us your jacket and leave Hell's Kitchen. You're done.
67 years ago. It's big business. That's why it's made such a comeback. There's big money in grievance.
Yeah,
That's
well, look at what's his name on CNN with the freaking hair. He was Al Sharpton. Oh. Al Sharpton has made his fortune being a rich black man telling poor black people that they can't make it in America.
Oprah telling
Oprah and what's that basketball guy with a dumbass beard?
LeBron James.
Isn't he a freaking billionaire?
Yeah,
and he's telling you, oh no, you can't make it in America. You rich mother.
He's not happy right now because they didn't consult him about the Jerry Jones photo too.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Now,
to China.
The quarterback of the Ravens is a black dude, Lamar Jackson. Great player. Had a bad game. This guy apparently, started attacking him on Twitter.
He said, I'm sorry.
He goes, listen, shithead. I'm out there, breaking my body, winning football games. Doing I said, and all you're doing is sitting home on Twitter and eating dick. And then he found out where the pecking order is because his cancellation was immediately called for being homophobic.
Right.
And ESPN built segments around, is Lamar Jackson homophobic? I said it's just the demand exceeds the supply, but that it makes in all these 7, 24, 62 or 52, 365 news, sports, and entertainment cycles. It's never going away. It's just going to keep getting worse. No matter how much it gets better in the real world, it's always going to be presented as worse than it's ever been because there's too much money in it.
In a disguise says it's not that they have gay or female characters. Who cares if they do? Yeah, right. It's that they want to do this to all of the characters. and they write them so poorly. That's
Yeah,
the
well-
big thing. Look, here's the thing, and this is I would bet you freaking money, that had that Tim Drake comic come out and it was incredible, we would be singing a different tune. That's the way it happens. Nobody cares. Look at it. Everybody always brings up Midnighter and Apollo because they were well freaking written and we love the characters for it. Who cares? That's what we're asked about all the time. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Yeah, exactly. Why does it matter? Why does it matter to you?
Why does it matter we talk about it? What do you come here and confront us?
Create an original. You can't create an original character. You have to change it. Why? Why is that beyond your own laziness? Oh, well, they're more popular, therefore we get a bump. No. Sorry, but do your fucking work. And Maranya is right. You're going to be hearing the Germans bomb Pearl Harbor a couple of times. And once again, getting back to the thing, you really want to trigger me, start up that bullshit about how you're being put down because what? I'm a YouTuber. You can't get a fucking job because this white guy here manages to drive a shitty car, making just enough to live okay, but not enough to influence you. Once again, if you bring up any of that because of this white straight male, blah, 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 yada, yada, fuck you. There's poor people on either side. There's racism all around. If I remember correctly, some people with year-long tans burned down cities and then had Congress bow to them. It happens. People get shit on. Racists will always exist. You're not going to change that. So don't give us any kind of bullshit about how you're only being held back because of you. Because you let it hold you back. God dang, you don't think I twist and turn about the shit that I'm not doing in order to save this channel? Because I do know it's my fucking fault. Jesus, Lord in heaven. What's that saying, that stupid dad saying, if you're pointing one finger at someone else, three are pointing at you? That's the way it is. I'm sorry, but that is a trigger for me.
Well, the other thing is so many people are indoctrinated.
Hey, Jay, what's up? How's it going?
The other thing is that so many kids have been indoctrinated the past 20 years that being taught that, like, well, one, you can't be a man at all. You got to cater everything because you can be accused of being raped and being convicted without even any proof. It's because somebody says that you did something.
Yeah. Are we still online?
Well, no, I don't know. But the other thing is that the other huge indoctrination thing that's going on is the fact that they're teaching socialism. We need to share the wealth. No one can be. It's not fair for that guy to have more viewers than I have. PewDiePie should have the same amount of views as I have, and I should have to do any of the work that he got to the other.
I'll be.
Right. I hate that crap.
I'm gonna be like Tim Pool. Oh no! We gotta hide these words because YouTube will get mad. No wonder I get my channels torched. Okay. Anyway.
But overall, even these writers, when they're not writing gay characters, when they write the straight characters in these books, even if they're writing a straight character, it's not gay in a normal book. They don't even know how to write those characters. These are people who are being hired because of their sexuality or their skin color. Yeah. It's disgusting. It's like, if we don't do this, I could lose my job, so I better hire that person there that fit the quota. It's like, can you imagine a guy coming in on the checkboard? Well, yeah, got a gay lesbian and that's black in a wheelchair. I'm gonna find you for this. That's what's.
Oh, by the way, I will say also this. Sometimes we go too far.
Yeah. Sometimes
on our side we go too far. Look, they made a what if character, another universe character. She was gay and handicapped. Like, she checked all the boxes herself. And we had a bit of fun with it. Now, my whole point was, I'm sorry, you're not swinging with that wheelchair on your back. It's going to throw you off. It's got to, to me, it was, I had more fun with the fact that it was a character. Like they said, how many of these boxes can we check off? Is there any way we could check off black and albino? Can we? Okay. Yes. By the way, I actually knew an albino black person. She was the sweetest thing. And it was in junior high, and yeah, I had a little bit of a crush. She was pretty. Anyway, yeah, but
well, I know you want to bring logic in this thing. Comic books, the speedster from the multiverse, teen whatever it was, Teen Justice, Young Justice multiverse. She had no legs. She had those things on for running, accessories. They're like look like blades.
yeah.
How does she stop when she's running? Like, you know, it's the sound of speed.
Well, you would think actually, if she had blades on her legs and she was actually super speedster, that if they would either break based on the speed, or if they had bouncing ability, that she would actually be leaping.
Why isn't she a villain? Because we had a villain like that, I believe, in who was it? The Kingsman.
Yeah.
Like she would be.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to reverse Flash now with the
one of the things that the Zack Snyder Justice League got shit for was the way that Flash ran, but I kind of liked it because it looked like a speed skater, and his at that speed he wouldn't be thump 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 thump. It would actually be like the motions of a speed skater.
I like Sonic, where you see
I kind
circles.
of like, oh yeah, with his legs going in circles. Yeah, so I actually liked the whole kind of speed skater vibe to it, because that would be how the Flash would run. It looks horrible in a movie, but it makes sense. Let's see what we got here. Captain America's the one that's supporting Antifa. By the way, Chris Evans did offer up money to people who burn down black neighborhoods and black towns and black cities. By the way, he offered to give them bail. Once again, you come after me for saying shit like if you're using your race, your sexuality, or your your sex as a way to keep yourself down, that's on you. I say stuff like that, meaning you're strong enough to pick yourself up. I get called racist, sexist, homophobe, and people who are freaking giving bail to people who are burning down black neighborhoods. Oh, they're heroes.
So I love how they shoehorn these characters into every single thing. It's like pretty soon, because these people are incompetent writers, you're gonna have a black person being shoehorned into a Klans meeting. I mean, also they have no ideas, and I said like I'm surprised that hasn't been a story yet where you have a black person going in like Bishop and going slaughtering a bunch of racists and cheats. The story.
Well, we did have that. What is that? That ecology girl with the antlers kill somebody because they didn't believe in climate change or something. You know, the other version of this show, however, I have been debating, should I do a drunk stream?
Chug.
Does alcohol go bad? Because Ashley left this in the refrigerator.
There might be a date on there. On the bottle.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to drink that anyway. I'll tell you what, I'll buy something new and she left this here. But my thought was do a drunk stream, but what I would do is I want to do a drunk reading. And I thought Dr. Seuss rhymes might actually be a lot of fun because to see the deterioration of the reading as it goes. But yeah, I'm not the smell of that.
A drunk stream where everyone else on the panel is drunk but you.
We could do that too.
And then we get channel shut down. Black Klansmen.
Are you okay?
That was Chappelle, yeah.
Okay?
It's like I said.
What's that all about? What's that about? That wasn't a nip. You freaking attacked me. What do you think you're doing?
Yes, Twiddles, more.
Holy crap.
Bite for the nose.
Oh, he's done that before.
Let's control your roommate.
What are you thinking?
Like I said, all around the board, whether it's gay, straight, or queer, whatever, it's the writers in general have been they get the cheapest writers because they want to fork out the money. These are cheapskate companies that will not want to pay actual good, decent writers. People who actually put their stuff on time, like Chuck Dixon, who actually know how to write. Jeff Johns comes back, and just anything by Jeff Johns, whether you whether you're not the biggest Jeff Johns fans, but you look at his writing and these 3 books he's brought back, and it just puts to shame like these people like Megan Fitzmartin, Brian Michael Bendis. Bendis, when he first started, was okay, but then his ego got the best of him, and he started getting worse and worse and worse. It became more like Lex Luthor, but like the dumb version of Lex Luthor.
He in trying to continue to steer us back to comics. Did you see the CBR article earlier in the week?
What is it?
It was 10 reasons that DC is losing steam.
One
of the reasons.
Okay, keep going.
So one of the reasons was bringing Jeff Johns back after colossal failures like Doomsday Clock and Batman 3 Jokers, and that no one wants him around anymore. Nothing about Teeny or Leah or Stephanie or Megan. Jeff Johns is the one that needs to go.
Well,
Teeny and Megan.
I'll say Leah's been doing good, and she's been killing it on Exterminators. Other than that, yeah, she's not really writing anything else. Megs, we haven't heard anything from Megs anymore. Is Megs just about blackballed now?
Yeah, Mags is gone, right?
Yep.
She had a story in one of the Archie books in the Halloween issue, and it wasn't bad. But
that's not Marvel DC though.
No,
she's kind of
she's I really can't say much more beyond that. But yeah, you're not going to see a whole lot from her anytime soon.
And Megs was actually one of those characters that writers that we didn't like because their stories just sucked. But then she wrote that Ginny Hex, and it was man. Everybody knows this. Eric does not read the new books. Eric went out and bought Ginny Hex and liked it. I mean, when you can do that, I mean, that's something. That's achievement right there. Now, I don't know what the beef is between between anybody at the DC offices, but I can see them just getting rid of her because of the fact that she's writing stuff that's not woke.
Oh yeah, and Jay, you're right. I mean, I said, and I don't know if it was Jeff Johns' idea about Alan Scott, because editorial has gotten very heavy-handed and very agenda-driven.
It was James Robinson in the beginning for an alternate universe, and James Tynion who made it for the main continuity, Alan Scott.
That was Tynion.
But do we know for a fact that it was their idea? Because I said, for years, Straczynski took all kinds of heat for One More Day, and we found out that was mandated from editorial.
Yeah.
No,
and he was just like the Hatchet Man.
Mandated from editorial, I think, was the James Robinson version, because they were redoing the entire during the New 52 Earth 2 series, and Tynion was the one that pushed for it to happen in the main continuity.
Well, yeah, James Tynion is not a bad writer, but the number of issues he's written from page 1 to page 22 that doesn't feature a gay character in his career is 0.
But I mean, I can understand now that there are gay people in the world, so I mean, we're not going to see it more often. But you can tell when they shoehorn it in, the character is like, "Hi, I'm just gay." They don't flesh. No one takes time to flesh out characters anymore. They're just kind of like background. We're like fist in the air. It's just like you can tell it's virtue signaling. And
there's not. Comics aren't about fleshing out characters anymore, because it's everything that made comics what we liked 50 years ago. That's kind of shifted. I mean, I said there's it's constant events. No one, the characters never slow down. That's why you don't have supporting cast. That's why you don't have subplots, because they can't count on the writer being there 6 issues later to see them through. So you're basically just getting the right now. And which I said, we criticize the characters when they're made gay because all they are is gay. Well, that's all they have to be. And that's all they're going to be. And it's like, but it's not like the straight characters are written any better. They're just there punching and, shooting ray beams at people. So, I mean, there's comics have lost, there are exceptions. And I know Jeremy Adams is one, But by
Yeah.
and large, comic books have lost their depth.
Well, yeah, definitely. Look at Peter Parker. They have no idea what to do with that character, even though he was the most popular character at Marvel. But nowadays, I don't know if he's even the most popular still, because so many people are just, as far as comic verse, comics in general, have just stopped buying that book. Tom Holland, yeah, it's cool, it's popular. That's a movie. That's like 4 movies. That's not comic books would come out every other week.
Yeah, but people treat the movies like comics. And look at things like the Comic Tom thing. They do their speculation all based on movies. It's all about that. And there's
Black Winter
it has nothing to do with people are reading this book and this book is going to be the one. It's all about there might be a movie. There might be a movie coming. It's not even about movies that are out now. It's always about the one that's about to come out or just been announced. It's a ridiculous way of speculating, but they flip books left and right. And I have kept track because I was commissioned a video. Please, it was is Comic Tom ruining the collector's market? Yeah, a little bit. My first thought was no, because he only tells you about sales that are happening. And then I thought, wait a second. After I made the video, it popped into my head. Wait a second. He's not talking about all the sales. He's not talking about, this book had 15, this book had 20, and he's going in a row. They're bouncing around. They're picking books and then telling you these are the top 10. They're not actually going to eBay and to other websites and gathering a whole bunch of information. And then somebody sent me a link to their auction, and I realized why they're not doing that. So my assessment has changed since the video I made.
So this kills me.
But
I was at the comic store the other day looking because they usually have the books there, they're behind the glass. These are more expensive books. $35. Black Winter.
Wow.
For Thor, issue 5 of Johnny Cates. Yeah, for those who don't know. And it's still because the character might appear in a book or a movie or whatever.
Yep. What percentage of artists and writers are LGBT? And this was asked by Glenzer. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat. I honestly wouldn't know. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that too much. Obviously, some writers and artists will come out and announce it. Margaret Bennett and definitely our girl Gabby. But yeah, I don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. I don't care. Are they good? That I'm interested in.
Stephanie Phillips, I know she's come on and said that she is, but she's also hit and miss too.
Also, I would wonder is who is saying it because it's the fad and who is actually, because this happened before, ladies and gentlemen, in the 90s. In the 90s, you had people going, oh, being gay is cool, and they would actually lie and say they were, and a lot of guys did that even.
That was Alex.
But then they found out what actually being gay means, and then
less than the fad, they don't want to be shoehorned or typecast, so they can't write these characters, or the Twitter mobs will claim you're not this identity, you can't write this character.
Yeah, now you just want to do it so you can get a job, right?
It was
That's something. Another thing, until Steve Orlando is the new writer on Scarlet Witch, because Steve Orlando checks a very important box, which allows him to write female characters. Now, they've already announced she's a complete hero. Nothing that she did in the past matters anymore, and she's just going to kind of be a blank slate for whatever he wants. They're going to move her to Krakoa. They've also made her appear to be about 14 years old, but I guess that's not really the point. But until straight men are allowed to write women characters again, you're going to keep getting books like the Scarlet Witch. They're going to last about 6 issues, then disappear.
They kicked the Ram V off of there, and the sales were pretty good for Catwoman. And then they put Trini Howard on there, and now no one buys it. I see less and less copies being put on the shelves.
And it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty sitting on that shelf. And it's even pretty when you look through it more often than not.
So I want to comment on, it's like, we always bring up Alexander saying gay's gay. That actress actually is happily married and straight and has 2 kids with her husband since high school.
Mm-hmm.
And she came out because it was the 4th season and said, I'm bisexual, because she didn't want to lose her job because she's a straight woman playing the actress who plays Alex Danvers on Supergirl.
Oh, okay.
So she came out and virtue signal saying, you know what, I'm bisexual, because she probably thought she was going to get kicked off like the guy who played Toyman's son for a while.
Yeah, eventually they would find out that she's not 100% gay and then try to
straight character.
her.
Yeah, representation.
Yeah.
Well, it's also, there's this latest generation of kids they've completely lost the concept of what fiction is. Everybody can only, certain people can only write themselves, like that poor Chinese girl that wrote that like wizard series about a caste system of slavery, and Twitter basically drove her to cancel her book deal that was for $600,000. So she cost herself more than $500,000, begged that mob to forgive her, and they just attacked her worse.
Yep, never apologize.
Right.
Never apologize.
But it's so that's why you're getting actors and actresses claiming to be gay if they're playing one, so they don't get, like Kat said, annihilated on Twitter. And same thing with writers. I mean, there are people that are, claiming to be gay or bisexual that are married, to an opposite
Kenny
sex.
Howard.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
like
it's
she's
almost
talking
like
about being bi, how all her characters are bi-focused women, and she's married to a guy.
Yeah, it's
like on her personal blog, she's talking about what. On Twitter, she's doing this. On her personal blog, she's like what her husband and she are doing.
Yeah, it's a dog and pony show for the consumption of people that are going to contribute absolutely nothing in their entire lives other than make everybody else's miserable. And they're hijacking everything. But the people in charge keep letting it, so they must, obviously don't have a problem with it.
And there you go. Let's see. Does anybody know what happened to Mike from Comic Book Steals and Deals? I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
So I couldn't answer that.
Oh, look, after 6 volumes, someone's trying to say that Common America is a ripoff of Miss Marvel. Where the fuck you
no anyone is. What? Who's saying that?
Some guy saying hold it. Well, not that guy. Hold the truth the hostage. And like, dude, it's been 6 volumes, and she's her own character. Yes, the design was kind of like, in retrospect to the Miss Marvel, will never get again, because Carl Danvers is not allowed to look like a woman anymore, or even act like a woman. So, but like I said, I think it's funny though that someone comes out and says like, "Well, it's 6 volumes now. I'm just gonna say no, she's a ripoff character."
Wonder if it's somebody who's aligned with people that don't necessarily like Tim and Mark that much.
Well, yeah.
Could be. Yeah, but that could be on either side of the culture war.
Like I said, I just saw it. It was retweeted. I was like, really? That's what's going on now?
You know what my response to that would be? That okay, somebody's got to be using that. There's no Ms. Marvel anymore.
Right?
That's true.
And there's never going to be again.
Yeah.
Unless you count, of course, Kamala Khan. Which, by the way, she's called Kamala Khan more than Ms. Marvel.
Oh no, Toyman's son on he was originally prominent in the first season, was on CBS in the second season, but then CW decided to have a whole get together thing, and they're kind of like hanging out and stuff. I know, was that I think it was E Hollywood, or whatever, or anyway, and so fans, crazy people, I should say. I'm sorry, this applies to everyone. It's crazy. If you're crazy, you're crazy. Just admit it. But anyway, so these people were trying to ship Supergirl and Lena Luthor together, and he sang his song, said like they're never getting it together, and then he was gone. He came back for like the final 2 seasons, I think that's about it. They you can't joke about this when it comes to like certain stuff like that.
Oh no, you absolutely cannot.
Look at what's his name, Heartland, the guy who played Hartley Sawyer, or whatever it was, the guy who played Elongated Man. They went after him for tweets are 9 years old. 9 years old. That somebody went. Why are you digging through tweets that are 9 years old? Are you that obsessed with the person? I want to know what they said when they first got here.
Well, that's
horrible.
But you know what's worse than that? That not one cast member stuck up for him. So we can talk about how great a guy Grant Gustin is. No, he's just as bad as the rest of them. All of them are. Because if you're okay with that, then I hope you're okay when they find something you did.
Maranya is saying most of the people who kvetch about Tim and Doug Ernst and Iconic Comics are not this so-called left, but certain creators who can't stand the fact that Iconic Comics are on time and early, which we have actually heard quite a bit. On time and early, by the way, for a little bit was used as an insult. Go figure. I saw it like it was like a full freaking week. And on the internet, we know a full week is like 5 years. But for a full freaking week, it was used as an insult. Hey, on time and early. Yeah, it's a good fucking thing, you dink. Come on.
I mean, when someone puts out a good quality book, is able to put like 3 to 4 books a year versus one person takes them a year and maybe the book isn't that great or it's mediocre.
Or it's been, and once again, I do know that a lot of people. You know what? I'm gonna shut up. Never mind.
I'm just saying it's a lot of jealousy because they're doing well.
I don't know if it's jealousy or whatever it is. It's just that look, being on time, being early is a good thing. If somebody's giving you money to do something, you should do it. Yep.
When it comes personal, when you have to tag Mark and Tim because they won't go on, they don't go online and talk about their books. You know, they just put the book out. Like day one, those two creators, those guys, Mark and Tim, have been harassed. You know, lies spread about them. That's cool. You know, if you believe it, you know what though? Why are we still talking about it? Why are you still going after them? Move on. Go touch grass, you know? There's things to do you can do outside. You don't have to spend, you know what? I saw that Mark did something. I'm going to go after him in Twitter and say, you know what? I don't like this Mark and Tim guy. It's pettiness at this level. But getting back to pettiness in comic books.
Well, you need a villain.
That's the thing.
One thing I noticed way back in the day was that Richard would go off, start a fight, and then when the person replied, he'd go, hey, look what this person said to me. Same with Ethan. You need a villain. You have to convince the people who are watching you that you are the victim. And there is an actual villain. And hey, guys, you in the chat and me, we can go off and we can defeat this villain together. That it creates a sense of team and it creates a sense of purpose. And that works for some people. It creates a cult of personality as well. But it is very effective. It's very effective in creating a following, and it's very, in all honesty, making money. Because if you and your audience share a villain, then they want to make sure that you could be the voice and you can be the person that's going to stop that particular villain. So they're willing to donate. So yes, that is actually, it is a good tactic, by the way, if you're trying to make money.
I'll just say this. I'll point out, because remember we always bring up the whole cult mentality. Well, the whole cult thing, it's like, well, people who follow cult leader, they're in a cult, but guess what? They're cult leaders. If that's true, Tim and Mark aren't going to go online and calling other creators saying, oh, these people are horrible people. They're not doing this. They're not making that. They're busy doing their books. You notice the ones who are talking about Mark and Tim creators are usually the ones that aren't doing so well. Or they're only putting out books out here or there, and they spend most of their time just talking about things that do not matter or pertain to the book. So my choice would be, I'm gonna back the book by the creator that I like, that doesn't spend their time on on Twitter or anything else, and all they do is just put the book out for you to enjoy. And every issue, every volume is quality done. It's at an affordable price, and that's all that should matter. You shouldn't be focusing on, oh, who's a villain or what. As a creator, you should be focusing on how much money can I make. If your job is to make more money from super chats than you do from the book, okay, cool. Admit that. it's,
Well, it doesn't have a. Well, obviously we're mentioning, or at least you. It seems like
I'm not mentioning any names.
EBS. Okay,
I'm not going to mention any names. I'm just saying that there are certain people do that.
Okay, there are fans of certain people who don't care, and they're willing to wait until it's done. Even though the ending doesn't seem exactly right around the corner, so it's
just seems kind of weird because we talk about professionalism, and where's the professionalism in calling out other competitors that are not responding to you or not doing anything, saying anything about you? Oh, there was a whisper campaign. The only whispering is by the people who are jealous. Sorry, I see more people talking about whisper campaign than I actually see the whispers.
It's a weird thing. And once again, I know for a fact that will sell tickets.
Sure, drama sells.
It definitely does.
Sure.
And it's hard not to go there. I mean, granted, there's a lot of drama on this stream right here, but
there's none whatsoever.
I don't really want to be that person. It was like, okay, you hear that person, he said this, and then all of a sudden you become all these YouTubers that fight back and forth all the time. Man, that never interested me. When I was called out, it didn't even interest me. It just doesn't.
It's like Marvel and DC. Marvel's constantly just saying, DC, they suck, they're a horrible thing. But DC's putting their books all the time, and they're putting good books. You're gonna go with DC. You're kind of gonna. You'd think you would, but then again, so what would be the cult mentality then? The person
Marvel and DC used to also have a playful rivalry.
True.
Like everybody got together. They actually got along together. And they took shots at each other, but and Marvel was better at it. But overall, everybody got along together. It wasn't until around the 2000s that everything fell apart. What was that one guy's name, Eric? You had Quesada, and then the guy who wrote Marvel.
You're talking about Bill Jamas?
Bill Jamas. There you go. Yeah, he was the one that said comic books were better when Marvel and DC hated each other. He didn't understand the actual real relationship, and then just came out swinging. And of course, we ate it up. And so they thought that was a good thing. Yeah. So the Marvel versus DC thing, that's something, because there's a big and rich history. There's actually a book called Slugfest I would recommend you guys read about it. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, so let's bring it back to comic books instead of Twitter.
Okay, let's bring it back to comic books. I'm not reading any. How about you?
I was actually going to be looking up because there's a new Monica Rambeau, not this week, but the following week.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, I think it's, what's her name? It's Pulse, not Pulse. Sorry. What was it called? Mm-hmm. She was after she was Captain Marvel. What was her name for Monica Rambeau? Photon.
Yeah.
So Eve Ewing is going to be writing it.
Okay, that could be good. It could be bad.
I'm kind of curious about it because she's the one that made Riri an actual nicer person.
Yeah, but then she turned around and kind of
I know
messed it up. It's like the first few issues, okay, but you messed up.
So I saw that though. I mean, like I said, I saw that. I was like, you know what? I kind of want to give the character a chance, but I'm at a point where like Eric is. It's like, it's gonna go that way, and I kind of don't want. I want to be optimistic. Maybe like I said, Eric, I know I'm naive.
No, I was saying, does Eve Ewing know that Monica Rambeau comes from a 2-parent family and that she followed in her father's footsteps,
working on the docks,
as being a policeman?
Yeah.
I mean, does she know that? Or is this all going to be about how the white man has kept her down despite having arguably more power than anybody in the Marvel universe?
Or is it going to be like the MCU version?
Or is it going to be set to where it could be a a weekly series on a streaming service.
Well, I look at this thing. It's more or less like going to be a miniseries because that's all they ever do is like 6 issues. Which, can we stop with the miniseries? I'm sorry. I mean, there are some books I'm kind of irritated that they didn't do longer. Like they had Justice League Infinite, and that was the Justice League cartoon from the 2000s. They continued the cartoon versions and the story, and I would rather have that just be a regular ongoing than read stuff by somebody who doesn't understand the Justice League.
Not to be cynical, but I'll bet you when the first issue of the Monica Rambeau series comes out, if someone publishes a picture of Eve Ewing, I bet they have the same hairstyle.
Well, I saw she does have the fro in this.
I mean, so, you want to, I mean, now it could end up being very good. But the problem is there are plenty of Roger Stearns and Chuck Dixons and Dan Abnett's and guys like that could write a terrific Monica Rambeau series. They would never be allowed to do it. Steve Orlando could pop his head in the office and say, "Hey," and he could. And that's another thing that's wrong with comics now. You have to. They don't assign writers; they cast them. And that misses far more than it hits.
Right.
Unfortunately.
I don't know. It's just I love the cover for Wonder Woman in 1994. If you look at it, guys, look it up on League Comics or wherever. It has missing, and on the milk card, it's Wonder Woman. I wonder why she's missing. She's been missing for the past 30 years.
No, she hasn't.
Well, that's not true. That's not true at all.
What's her definitive story in the past 30 years?
Now that's
run?
No, that's more than 30 years ago, by the way. That's almost
30 years. I think the Greg Rucka run was good.
It was the first one. The first one.
Yeah.
The second one, when Liam Sharp was doing the art, that wasn't so bad. But when they were in the present day, but the past one, I didn't like the art.
Yeah, James Robinson did a good run when they brought in her brother. Yeah, but he's also the last straight white dude that's been on the title.
On this channel, we have a stream we did where we talk about great characters who do not have a definitive run or a definitive story. Wonder Woman's not one of them, but yeah, you're right. There's not those definitive stories. I guess 1986, right? 1987.
Yeah.
Like
with the gods and monsters.
So that's the one you remember it. I mean, the George Perez.
Yeah, the first 5 I've got it somewhere. The first
7 issues.
7, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some great characters out there. Like we mentioned Black Panther. Black Panther doesn't have that awesome freaking story. They're just never happened for him.
You know what I know about Bishop is he came back to try and kill Gambit. That's all I know, and I don't know if that's even from the comic books because I remember from the cartoon series.
Martian Manhunters never had a definitive go. Yeah.
Now Black Panther didn't have a definitive storyline that everybody remembers, but it did have 30-something phenomenal Christopher Priest issues.
Well, we could say the same thing about Hawkman. Hawkman has I don't know if you would count the 4-issue miniseries Hawk World or Shadow War, but the Venditti run of Hawkman is incredible.
The first 12 issues, the one that redefined his origin and he finally got to put his slay his demons, so to speak. The only sad thing about that was that more people don't know about it because that is legitimately the best thing DC has done in the 21st century.
Yeah. Jay, Jay's making a good point about Gail Simone. And it can go to so many different comic book writers. I can't stand Gail as a person, but she was on fire in the 2000s and her Wonder Woman was one of the standouts. And he's not lying. Birds of Prey, Villains United, great freaking
Secret
titles.
Six.
Secret Six. Oh, yeah. Great titles.
Gail fell off the deep end around issue 17 of the Bad Girl run you were reading.
Yeah, I loved, by the way, thank you for telling me when to quit. But I love that series.
No, you can actually continue till
the first two trade paperbacks are really, really good.
What did she get really heavily involved with right around that time?
2015 is when she started doing the
I'm trying to say she got Twiddles. Was it Twiddles?
It sounds close.
Yeah. Where she kept writing. No, it couldn't be Twiddles because she wasn't writing on Twiddles. You little bastard. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to pop your head off like a Pez dispenser.
And then we'll watch it on the Jumbotron.
No, don't. No eye contact. No eye contact.
Can we watch the Jumbotron and instant replay slow-mo?
No eye contact.
Pop.
What is your problem?
Oh,
don't hide in the back. Come here.
Well, right now his problem is there's a human screaming in his ear and expecting an answer.
Okay, now we're face to face. What is your problem?
He sees your face. That's the problem.
What's up? Actually, it might be because it's we're kind of in the dark right here. The light is not like right here is sort of dark, and the light sources that you're getting are on both sides. And lovebirds don't do too well in the dark. Like a shift to the right or left, and he might actually.
So if you want to see how badly Gail Simone ruined Red Sonja, go read the 2005 one. It went for like 80 issues, and to see how more adult that comic book was, they just completely censored the character when Gail came on. They had to change everything. She pulled a Bendis.
Margaret Bennett, her series was pretty darn good. And Amy Chu is the go-to in my opinion.
2015 is when Gail took over.
Hey,
2015 or 2005?
2005 is when the good one started, and went to 2015.
All right.
Went for like 80 issues, man. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm going through this. It's like we basically had Sonya going around just like normal. Just like if you'd read a Conan book, she went around, she drank at a bar, she got into bar fights, she killed wizards, she was taking on monsters. That's all it was. Christopher Barker Bendis was my favorite back in the day. Back in New Avengers and Ultimate Spider-Man, I liked this stuff. You know?
Yeah, just if you go back and revisit New Avengers, try not to read the dialogue. My God, it did not age well. Holy
to be fair, though, some of these older books, though, I can't. The dialogue's boring to me too. So
it's not this boring. It's like
heavy dialogue.
It's like being in the cafeteria at Sunnydale High.
You don't like 90s dialogue? Yo, what's up?
Not coming from 40-year-old men. I don't need to. You don't sound like Buffy and Willow.
Hey, there you go. It's time to go.
And no one has any different personality in a Bendis book. I mean, I said it's whatever. You could point the word balloon to any character, and it's going to be the same.
That's a big problem in modern day too. They just don't know how to write.
Well, you know why? Because you can't inflect personality into text. An emoji can only do so much. So these people don't know how to give anybody distinct personality.
Well, yeah. We're talking about that the inner thought bubbles.
Well, that's been going on for quite a while now, though. And I'll take it back to what I said a while ago when I mentioned that right now you're getting a lot of people who seem to have only read comic books, or they've never read a comic book, and they're actually people who think they're being clever, or they're trying to fight the whatever archy. How many times do we need Batman to be dressed down by an average citizen or one of the villains, or even Robin or Spoiler or something?
Barry can't. And look at CW Flash. It's the same writing you'd read in some of his other books. It's the same thing where he can't win a fight on the CW unless he takes off his mask and realizes, you know what? I'm just like you, except that I don't rob banks, but we're like though. Look at me.
you know that lunchroom where all the girls are sitting around the table, and instead of talking to each other, they're texting each other at the same table. Some of those women are writing your comics now.
Yeah.
And when you didn't grow up talking to anybody, how do you know how to write people talking to each other, and how do you know how to give characters personality?
It's like talking to you guys online.
Yeah, but we're talking to each other.
But I mean like Twitter. Like, so that's the whole thing. Social media. Yeah, texting. Yeah.
Oh,
It's different. You know, like everybody in the chat who's never been on camera is like. Now, I'm not saying that everybody in the chat is, you know, I mean here, but other you're supposed to be people who basically would rather be. They don't feel comfortable being around. Everybody has a lot of social anxieties. Knows that too, so they put that in their books. Like how do I you know, and there's much to get, and this is much to Eric's point. How do I talk to a boy? Oh, I've always been single my whole entire life. I just will never go and talk to him. So instead of actually putting something in different, you know, they just do the same thing for the character over and over again, no matter what gender it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Twitter thing, because I've had recently I've had a hard time with people responding to my tweets.
Well, that's because nobody likes you. Here we're forced to deal with you.
Yeah, hey, Venkman, if you want to know how to talk to a boy, just talk to Vita Ayala. She'll teach you.
Hey!
No, she won't, because I'm a straight white male, and then she'll say, "No, I can't talk to you. You have white privilege."
But Venkman, if there's any ambiguity, she's going to run with that and push it as far as she can. See, I watched all 38 seconds of that video.
You know what's funny? I got an ad that went for like 39 seconds, and then when the ad was done playing, and like I had to replay the video just to get the 38 seconds of the actual video. I was like, what the heck? I watched the ad, and then I couldn't skip it, and I was like, and I want to go back. It's like there's a little circle. I was like, replay this video again.
I did not put ads on that. It's 38 seconds. Why would I put ads on?
I know
38
that's YouTube.
Oh, I would have put an ad right in the middle of those 38 seconds. Just
we can't. It's not.
You can't for I like the idea of it, but yeah, especially one of those 10-minute long story things or the 15-minute long rap video. Why are they putting rap videos as advertisements anymore?
But yeah, I was looking at that. I was like, I even said to Ian when we first came here, he's like, how does it feel to have a video that's pushing 500 and it's only 38 seconds? But when you try to do ones that are like 25 seconds or 15 minutes, you know, it's like, hey, hi, 5 people. it's
my videos did shit. They did nothing.
It's the attention span. That's what it is.
What was it was the last 1, 2, 3, 4 videos have not breached 100 views. 51, 54, 88, 85. Well, okay, one did.
523 views for 38 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's doing its job. It's getting your channel exposure. Yeah. And it's, if you do more stuff like that, it says more controversial speak, you know, because obviously we're not experts. We're all human. We make errors. We make mistakes.
I have yet to finish Stargirl season 3. Christopher Barker, thank you for letting me know that the final episodes are out.
Final episode is this week.
This week, okay. I need to catch up and get ready for it. Then.
It's on the 7th.
Okay. Yep. What have I watched recently? I know we watched some Christmas movies that happened on Fifth Avenue. Was decent. We watched the Muppet Family Special, and then something called Where the Crawdads Sing. That was all right. What the hell? Oh, and a couple of I thought it was kind of funny that everybody's making their own Hallmark Christmas specials now. Every time I turn on a Christmas movie, a new one, it's done in that same freaking formula.
So Bruce Campbell's in his second Hallmark video or movie this year. Did one last year too.
Miss saying sorry to hear that. Shadow banning definitely seems to be a thing. It really is.
MK Eric is due for 3 videos at this point.
Well, wow. Actually, I think what happened was I did a stream the other day. It was something about man with strong women are written as man with boobs.
I like the thumbnail.
Well, that I think is why I got demonetized.
Yeah.
So I think that caused me to be shadow banned because the thumbnail originally was 2 guys. One was dressed as Supergirl. One as Power Girl.
So you changed it from that? Oh.
Yeah, I had to. They demonetized me. So instead, I put Wonder Woman on the thumbnail, and they okayed it. But
Did they demonetize you just just accuse them of being transphobic. They'll give you an apology and
they don't
box
give you a
reviews.
reason. They don't talk to you about it. They nerf your fucking channel and they let you go. They don't care. But as soon as I changed the thumbnail and then challenged the demonetization, and I got the monetization back. But I think I ended up getting nerfed again because of that thumbnail. So the next videos, they're not sharing them around as much. So please, by all means, guys, share the videos if you don't mind. Hit like and all that kind of stuff with them. It would be very, very helpful. At least get a couple of these over 100.
Well, now I know it's Jay.
it was supposed to be disturbing, so did its job. Yeah,
but I'm sure if you had a picture of those cuties on there, you'd be fine. They wouldn't care.
Yeah, actually would. I did a viewing of cuties for Extreme Movie Show when I was on the Extreme Movie Show, and it got 3,000 views or somewhere around there. And no, they didn't. But I didn't have the cuties dancing on that. I had the movie poster. I almost threw up, by the way. If you guys have ever want to see something, I'm watching cuties, and I come close to vomiting. That movie was not good. And by that, I mean morally. Yeah.
Let's make a movie about the awareness of grooming by grooming.
By groom, yeah. That's basically it. We think kids are over sexualized there, and we're gonna show you by over sexualizing them.
I'm sorry, beauty pageants for kids are like 5 years old. I don't care. I don't like no beauty pageants for like 10 or hell, even 15. 15 and under.
Yeah. I could do that again, put on a movie, and I can't share the movie, but what it is basically it's a commentary, it's a running commentary and reaction and such. And if you're watching the movie too, it's kind of a shared experience. I guess we could do that again sometime. Cuties was such a big freaking deal at the time that I thought, and everybody was jumping down its throat without seeing it. And I understand the premise is horrible. And we could talk about the premise, but my thinking has always been, if I'm going to talk about a movie, I'm going to make sure that I see it so I know what I'm talking about. And that's why I watched it. And it was, it was something. It was bad. Not just, it was a bad movie, because I actually saw what they were trying to do. And I didn't think it was a poorly made film for what they were trying to do. But it was just a morally wrong film. And normally I can't say that. I mean, who's to say what's moral and what's not when you're watching a movie like, say, Terrifier 2, or, which is everything is fake. Or, okay, sure, you might not like a movie where Black Lives Matter is the hero and the cops are the bad guys. You may actually go, well, all right. But in order to make cuties, they felt they needed to exploit children. That is a wrong film. And yeah, it was something that I will never, ever, ever watch again. It's just horrible. Some movies hit me like that. There's a movie, I think it was called Trans-Siberian, where they're torturing a man, and they've broken him, and so they have him okay with hurting and doing things to people, and they drug him up, and they come in, and he's supposed to rape someone. They're sitting there, they've got a cover over him, so over them, so he doesn't have to I guess so he doesn't have to see who they are, and he just goes at it, just rapes this person right there. And then they remove the cloth over the person. It turns out to be his son. Never watch that film again either. Some movies are just freaking wrong.
It sounds like current Marvel.
That was, yeah. Oh my God. That was horrible though. Yeah. I think it was called Trans-Siberian or something like that. Yeah.
I'm just getting flashbacks of the kid crying in bed with Superman taking his shirt off.
Yeah, that cover.
Every single
Right.
time I see it, it's like they saw that cover and were inspired by that today. And like, we're gonna have Clark do that.
I'm waiting for that's just nasty, says Rhaegar. Yeah, it really is.
And that's
some
Jonathan.
guy told me, "Oh, you got to watch this movie. It's a psychological horror film. You're gonna love it. It's fucked up." Well,
Why
it
would you love it?
was it was effed up. It really was. But no, it was horrible.
You're gonna love that. Some guy blinks his son, and it's like, gee, you know what? I saw it. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, there's nothing awesome about. There's very few films that I feel that way about though. Usually, okay, I could see. I can watch most things, but what you gonna do? Oz had uncomfortable scenes.
Christopher Barker,
Yep.
thank you for that proof of life.
My lack of posting is due to doing the chores. Hey, thank you for listening to us while you're doing the chores.
Even though we
nice.
may not agree on everything, I said I try to be civil with everybody.
Well, like I said, if we ever have, if we ever he comes on, he wants to have it. We'll have it civilized. It's like I said, I do that with Tristan all the time. Okay, MK is asking, which would you say is the most controversial comic book movie the SJW wants nuts over? Joker, remember that? I know Wonder Woman 84 had some trying to think of Marvel ones. The most controversial comic book movie? I guess,
Flash.
The Joker. The Joker is definitely there, and I'm going to assume you mean ones that are already out, because otherwise Batgirl would have to be up there.
Flash.
Yeah. Controversial.
Flash is still slated for June, right? Next year? Unless they push it back again.
Depends on what you mean, I guess. Depends on what you mean is controversial, because obviously the Justice League had the big controversy with the lip and the
Snyder
fact that
man,
it wasn't the Snyder, and then the Snyder cut. So the whole Justice League thing, that had a controversy. The fact that Birds of Prey had none of the characters look like any of the characters, and then of course they said it was because we're all bigots that we didn't like it. So you had that. I'm trying to think. There weren't really a lot of controversies surrounding movies back in the 90s and such.
Catwoman.
No, it was
Really?
bad. Yeah, but it, not controversial.
Well,
that
was before social media, right? That was before MySpace. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess a lot of the ones would come up with during the
I guess
invention of social media.
Before social media would be Batman '89.
It wasn't controversial. It was,
but it was people arguing, or people were complaining like, I don't want to see Michael Keaton as that.
Well, yeah. The casting of Michael Keaton caused a
Ben Affleck as
brouhaha.
Batman was another thing too. People didn't want to see Ben Affleck.
I have to say I was not one of those, because I saw Hollywoodland and I knew Ben Affleck would kick ass. Miss So was saying, never watched Cutie sound like they missed the point of making a movie and made it disturbing for shock value. Children should never be exploited. I absolutely agree with so. Absolutely.
Batman versus Superman was another one too. I remember that people were upset that they killed Superman in the second movie. In that movie,
yeah,
people were so upset. It's like, really, we got one movie with him, and all of a sudden, like, it's immediately, oh, he's gone.
The plot of Catwoman movie with the villain was actually pretty good. Halle Berry's character should have been named something else. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't a Catwoman movie.
Well, that's Joker. This Joker movie should have been called something else. It didn't even feel like Joker at all.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see why you could hold that. For all the complaints about anime and Lolita, the story of Cuties probably better be told as animations. Japanese are better at telling these types of stories.
I mean, I'm so upset they had Elliot Page play Kitty Pryde. That was weird. But a guy play a girl.
Yeah, that didn't happen. Sorry, Ellen Page played Kitty Pryde. Elliot Page did a fine job in the what do you call it? Underwire bra. Umbrella Academy.
Elliot was posing as Ellen Page this whole entire time.
Sure. Yeah. Catwoman is a guilty pleasure to me. It
God,
would
you
almost
would-
yeah, sometimes that works, right? Bad movies are fun. I've been telling Gail I want to watch some of the bad Christmas movies I like. That I don't know why I like to watch them, because I know they're bad. Four Christmases with Vince Vaughn. Actually, Vince Vaughn has two bad Christmas movies I like to watch. Four Christmas
the other one.
with Reese Witherspoon, where they go visit everybody's families. They're and then he's in a movie called Fred Claus. I enjoy them both. They suck. But for some reason, and there's another one. It's called Deck the Halls with Danny DeVito and Matthew Broderick. Sucks.
Christmas
It
the
sucks.
Cranks.
But yeah, that's another one. I'm a Tim Allen shill, and I actually have already watched Christmas with the Cranks. It's a fun film to me. But yeah, there's bad movies and good movies I like to watch at Christmas. Hey, Dalton, what's up?
Dalton's here? I didn't see him.
Oh, I thought somebody said Hell Dalton.
Yeah,
I thought,
unless you're saying that one of us is Dalton. I don't know.
Oh.
EE. Okay.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, maybe they just assume that one of us is Dalton, I guess.
I don't know.
I sound a lot like Dalton.
But yeah, I saw Hey Dalton. I was like, oh, okay, Dalton's here. Then I looked up and I didn't see him.
Pixel watched Violent Night instead of Rob. I heard that Pixel loved it. Rob would rather just... Yeah, the Violent Night. That's the latest Christmas Santa Claus movie. Rob, no, he didn't like it. I saw the trailer for it, and I just was like, I'll go watch the Mel Gibson Fat Man movie.
Or watch Mel Gibson's Christmas movie. He was in a film last year or the year before. It was called Fat Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
He plays Santa Claus, and what's his name?
Walter Boggs.
Walter Boggs plays an assassin that is sent to kill him. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I want to see Violent Night though. Where's it streaming, or is it in theaters?
It's in theaters right now. It just came out on Thursday.
Oh, does my theater have it? Let's see this. West Orange 5. And show. Hey, Violent Night, 420 and 720. I think I might go see that. Oh, no. But Strange World. I got to go see Strange. No, I already saw.
So the Batman boinking, Barbara sleeping with Bruce. As far as I know, that was not in the original Killing Joke comic book, was it?
What?
No, until the Joker escapes, all that was made up to increase the length and make people care about Barbara.
Yeah, because Barbara sleeping with Bruce was actually from the Batman Beyond animated series.
It's basically Bruce Timm has a thing for trying to hook those two up.
Yeah.
The guy that wrote those.
There's a new Christmas movie with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. It's called Spirited. It's playing on Apple TV right now. I bought Apple TV for $5 whatever, streamed it because I wanted to see the Charlie Brown specials. They've got the Charlie Brown specials there. I have watched Spirited. It is fine. It's got some funny parts. It's got some not so funny, but it's fine. It is a musical. And I think that Will Ferrell is capable of holding a tune. My wife goes, I did say, well, at least they got one guy who could sing, as Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell did a duet, and Ryan Reynolds definitely needs a bucket to carry a tune. And I said, well, at least one guy could sing, and Gail goes, who? Because she didn't think Will Ferrell or him could sing. But it's a fun take on A Christmas Carol.
And so if you don't have Apple TV, you can just don't want to buy it out of respect for yourself, your loved ones, go to Walmart. They have right now on DVD and Blu-ray, all the Christmas stuff is out. As far as, whether it's Pixar, whether it's Snoopy, all the Peanuts gang. I said Peanuts.
They've got a $20 box set of things like A Year Without a Santa Claus.
Yeah, the stop motions. Those
all the Rankin and Bass stuff. It's worth it.
Now's the time to go get it real quick if you haven't got it, because like I said, like they bring it out every year though, but you don't see it until that next year. So I don't know how many of these are actually the same cases. It's just in the warehouse.
It's the same thing. They just change. Sometimes they change the outer case.
The cardboard, yes.
Yeah. The cardboard, yeah.
Yeah. But overall, I said like, yeah, I Friday the Frosted Snowman, all that stuff, you know.
Oh,
like,
actually, it's on YouTube.
A lot of it, yeah, that's the thing too.
No,
Sometimes you can find Daily Motion, YouTube. You can find stuff like that.
Let me change my profiles here. Go to my other profile, the one that I actually watch. I watch YouTube on my Disney channel, on the Homegrown Tourist, or at least I need to change it back to that.
Speaking of Disney stuff, not this week, but next week is Gargoyles. It's coming out for Dynamite. It's by Greg Weisman, the guy who did Young Justice. Cool. So,
I'm Mr. Hot Miser. I'm Mr. Mean.
Actually, no, that's I spoke. That's this week. That's this week, along with Joker, Batman Joker Deadly Duo by Silvestri. So,
is that any good?
Yeah, I've
got it waiting for me. I just haven't picked it up.
I love the art. I mean, I'm loving the story. I'm just loving the writing right now, and it's been pretty solid for me. They're only on issue 2 now. So there's also I said Gargoyles comes out this week for Dynamite, and they're starting another Blade Runner 2039 through Titan Books, and Extreme X-Men, which I'll be picking up with Claremont because I like Claremont. Says he just did Gambit, so. But
I can't.
Mr. Breen, did you want to say something?
No, I was just gonna say that I'm gonna head out. I think I'm gonna start watching a Christmas movie before I turn in.
Which one are you watching tonight, sir?
I don't know. I think I might start, and depending on how I feel, finish Meet Me in St. Louis.
Ooh.
You know what? I think
you know what? I'm gonna go and join you.
Yeah, that seems like it would be a good Christmas movie to watch. I'm kind of there. When Gail gets home, I think that would be kind of fun to watch that one.
Is it the Jimmy Stewart one?
No, it's Judy Garland.
No, Judy Garland. Yeah.
Well, I know. Apart from A Wonderful Life, wasn't Jimmy Stewart in another one?
Another Christmas type movie that I'm aware of. But I was looking. I said, June Lockhart is still alive.
Oh wow!
And she says, yeah. I mean, Margaret O'Brien is too. But because I remember watching these old movies, because the little kid from Holiday Affair is still alive. And that's probably it of everything I watch, on Christmas time. Go ghoulish like that.
Yeah. Even We're No Angels.
So old, even the kids are, have died of old age.
Yep. So,
but, before I go, MK, I'm glad to see our team spending big bucks. I don't know if he's certainly not worth what they paid him, but that's the way it is now. Anyway, on that note, kids, you guys have a good rest of the evening.
Have a good one. I agree. Have fun, man. Take care.
Check out Bogart and We're No Angels. That's another good movie you can watch on Vudu Prime. I think.
Yeah, Dominic, feel free to jump on. I would love to. Communication always helps. Okay, so let me show you guys this. If you are a fan of the Rankin and Bass, by all means. Here is something to check out. Actually, let me make sure. Did I? Might as well. If I'm going to share the screen, might as well. There it is. But yeah, check out this right here. It's called, somebody posted this, Classic Christmas Movies Compilation. And it starts off with Frosty. And it goes on, and they've got a few of them. Okay, you can start now. Geez, anytime you want to show somebody off, it's like getting a baby to do a trick for the grandmother. The baby never does the trick for the grandmother. Messy. Well, if
you're going to have a baby doing tricks, you got to use a cow prod.
I know, right? We have to talk about our favorite versions of Christmas Carol. We kind of did the other day, but I would love to have that conversation as we're getting closer. We may do more Christmas centric. I want to talk to the group and the kids here about starting up some readings and getting some Christmas readings again like we used to.
And just say happy birthday. Sorry.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, look at the snow! Yeah, it's the best kind of snow too.
Frosty the Snowman. This has It's also got
Christmas Town, better known
Rudolph.
as the North Pole.
Arrives. Yep.
We'll
Let's see. Rudolph is a good 50 minutes. So, oh, and then it's got the Santa Claus is coming to town, which is one of my favorites. It's got some catchy freaking songs, and then it ends with the little drummer
What's
boy.
going on out there?
Father! You must run, my son. Escape us, run!
So yeah,
I see that.
eat, Papa, eat.
No, I just keep thinking like when she pushes him out the window, I'm like he's gonna fall to his death. It's like
Put one foot in front of the other, and soon we'll be walking out the door.
Yeah. I said I'm gonna be watching Scrooge with Bill Murray.
Yeah, that's
I love
cool,
that.
too. Gosh, I love Christmas. I really do. I'm a Christmas fan. I love this time, man. I got the spirit. It's pretty cool. I love watching the movies with Gail and such. We're not and such, just Gail. Yeah, gosh, it's just a lot of fun. I'm listening to Christmas music in my car every time I jump in. Yeah,
See, I'm one of those persons that can't do it because I remember all the people that I'm no longer with me, my family. So it's like, so it's like, it's a double-edged sword. Jingle bells! Oh God!
They used to sing this with me. I need to steer into a tree. Yeah, we don't want that. Yes,
I wouldn't want to
Rudolph,
root
the
a
source of
tree.
many a nightmare for my childhood. The snowman was the abominable. Yeah, that does happen sometimes. 3 of these are stop animal. Yeah, they're fun. They're fun too.
It's weird that it's the only time I listen to Amy Grant is at Christmas.
Oh, by the way, I said this yesterday, and I'll say this anytime it comes up. Taylor Swift sucks. She is. I guess she has a Christmas. She has a Christmas album out, and every goddamn song I've heard from her is horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
She dated Harry Styles, and look at Harry Styles now. She stole the masculinity right out of him.
She made me feel like a girl. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. It is like screw. Okay, what did we see? We'd seen. I'm trying to think. God dang it, we watched everything. Okay, I made my wife watch You've Got Mail because I think it
National Lampoon's Christmas.
It's we did watch Christmas Vacation, and we are going to watch it again. We watched the sequel to A Christmas Story. That was fun. We watched a handful of these Hallmark movies. Like I said, everybody else is making them now. I watched the Noel Diaries on Netflix. It was all right. It's all right. I mean, none of these movies are Oscar winners. There was one on HBO about a movie director or something like that. That was fun.
Did you watch the Grandma Got Run Over by Reindeer, narrated by Randy Travis?
I have not yet. I have not yet.
It's like the fact that I remember that, it just shows how much traumatized I am.
Yeah, you ain't getting any argument from me about Swiftie. You're preaching to the choir. She's horrible.
Ain't no Swifties here.
What else did we watch? As far as I also need to watch Uncle Buck. Watch Die Hard because you got to.
I watch it on Christmas Eve. I wait till it hits midnight, and then when he falls, it's Christmas.
And I date Taylor Swift. If I was a little bit younger, I probably would too. If I wasn't married, of course.
Oh God, Yellow Brick Road to be your new single.
at the very least, I would be immortalized in song, right?
That's the thing. It's like, so everyone she dates, she has to write a song, but it's like, well, what if my buddy's like, what if I just eat oranges? And I just talk about oranges. Her song could be about oranges.
Rudolph is my spirit animal. I was bullied as a kid, and Rudolph was too, and he persevered.
Right now,
sorry to hear that. I do think it's interesting. A lot of older comic book readers like myself, Maranya, I'll bet Eric has a story just like that. And I'm not saying that to dilute Maranya. It is something you guys have, that you younger kids who came up only knowing the comic books being or geek culture being popular. You're welcome. You're welcome for those of us who took the lumps, because for a longest time, you were either bullied and you found these characters and their morality to be uplifting, or you were actually bullied for liking geek culture. So
Yeah, thank you.
It was rough.
We want to thank you for gatekeeping women from reading comic books and playing D&D.
Yeah. Maranya, thank you for making sure that women never read comics. You're awesome. Yeah. There was one my mom was watching that had Eric Durant's, goodness gracious, Wesley from Princess Bride. He was in one. Carrie Elwes. I think they've become such a cultish thing that I would not be surprised if more mainstream or bigger actors start slumming it in these movies.
These Hallmark has been getting like all the former child actors. You had Wendy from what was it? Wonder Years was on one of them. Danica
McKellar, yeah.
Keller.
Lacey Chabert. Lacey Chabert's made her career doing Hallmark.
The girl from iZombie. Even the girl who played Beth on Walking Dead was in them. It's like it's a new thing now. It's like if you were a TV actress and your show gets canceled, you have to go over there and do the homework. The girl as well. The one that was in Justified. She was the second crime family, the one with the brothers, and she just wanted to get her son out of there. If you watch Justified, she ended up the redhead ended up going on, and next thing I know, she's there too. It's like everybody and anybody is going over there. Dean Cain has made like 17 or 18.
Yeah, he's been in a ton of them. Yeah,
but
I can't watch the ones. I cannot watch the Christmas movies with Lacey Chabert though. Lacey Chabert gives me unclean thoughts. She had grown up properly.
What was the other one? The girl that played Rachel Gould, the one that was on Arrow, not the daughter.
I do not know
Nisa Al Ghul. On Arrow, she
Nisa from that's what tries to Nisa from Arrow had done a couple of them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Know what's funny? I was bullied by one kid in elementary for drawing comic characters 12 years ago, and that same kid was seen as the weird one. Go figure. Who was that old porn star who turned into a regular actress? She's a blonde. Yeah, Tracy Lords.
Yeah.
There's,
like I said, I can't believe how many. If you want to look for people who are no longer like popular, they were once popular. They're on Hallmark.
Hey, they're working and they're doing things that, let's face it, it's got a following.
Heather Locklear, I'll still follow her if she's on Hallmark. Man,
shit, I'd follow Heather Locklear into the gates of hell.
Well, not that far.
Yeah, she's still pretty hot, dude. Which Hallmark actress keeps saying "Linting Up at Night" should be the title for the stream.
You know, I want a top 5 Hallmark movies that you recommend that you love.
I would have to remember the names. That's a hard thing for me to do.
You can look them up. You can look them up on Google. You can look up the names and then cast numbers.
Look, I do like that one. There's I do like the one with Carrie Elwes. It's something about British royalty. A lot of these have to do with some sort of royalty.
Okay, yeah.
Then there's the one with, it's either Selena Gomez or the other one that looks like Selena Gomez, the one from High School Musical. There's one of those two. They're in something like it's kind of the Princess and the Pauper Christmas movie. That was fine. There's one with Amy Smart, and she's in a time loop.
Oh,
I like that one. That one is pretty good.
Is that the one where she there was one, I don't know if it starts her, but I remember catching one is where the woman, she wished that she wasn't married to her husband, or whatever. She had to start do-over, and she realized that she's single now and her husband is with somebody else, and she just wants to go back to her old life.
Yeah, she wants to make him miserable. So I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Like I said,
I don't know the names of these things. I just watched them.
I don't watch these for the plot. I'm just going to say that. I'll admit that.
Rhaegar saying, I don't know much about Christmas. Yeah, I remember yesterday you said you're not into it. Marcella is saying, geez, I haven't watched any Hallmark movies in years. They all feel like Lifetime movies to me, kind of boring. Well, I think it was Neil Patrick Harris who in How I Met Your Mother said, wow, I didn't know being in a committed heterosexual relationship could be so gay. Yeah, if you're a man and you have your wife is going to put on these Hallmark movies.
I'm trying to remember. There was the girl from
and then
90210.
fall asleep, and so you're the only one
The
watching.
last time I watched anything on Lifetime was The Client List. Jennifer Love Hewitt, massage, erotic massage. Yeah. Before that though was the one with Tori Spelling, and her boyfriend was going to try to murder her at a lake. So the cabin is like.
She's in a movie called The Mistletones or something like that. Yeah. What are you pulling the hair out of my head? Are you literally pulling the hair out of my look at that?
He's looking for Sign of Life.
Is that what you're doing? Look at this dumbass. He's
Which
on
one?
the top of my head right now trying to pull the hair out of my head.
He's just looking for something to hold on. Or maybe he's trying to nest. He needs your hair for his nesting.
Ow. He got one. Oh, you, Rhaegar.
I know it's all plots. He doesn't have hair.
Oh, by the way, it gets better. Yeah, I know this is an embarrassing thing, but screw it. I've shared damn near everything. Right here, I have the last of my old hairline. There's like one hair right here.
Just cut it off.
I kid you not. Gail, when she's mad at me, she goes, "I'm gonna snatch that right out of your head." I'm like, "You will not touch that." That reminds me where
it's gonna
it used
like
to be.
curl and just lay out. It's like
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, there's just one. I'd never let it get too long because otherwise it'll be like one piece of hair going to. But it is there. It is there, and
it's a reverse ponytail, guys.
no, it looks like actually if it does get long, it looks like Charlie Brown's curl.
That's what I was looking. I was thinking like, yeah, it's like those big babies in Nothing But Trouble.
Yeah, but
It's like
so yeah, this little thing was on top of my head. So
so
you got to stop biting, boy.
I just
You
thought it's
gotta
cool
stop
that the fact
biting.
you actually found a decent robot to spy on people. Because we all know that birds aren't real.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Birds are robots.
That's Gail controls that.
Yeah. Wow, Englentine really is Charlie Brown. Yeah, I used to joke about how I look like Charlie Brown grew up. Yeah, there you go. I've got that one curly hair right there.
Go check out the Extreme Movie Show where me and Rob, it was a couple years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, we hypothesized, where are they now? The Charlie Brown cast, it's like like Linus, like, had he lost his blanket and pretty much ended his life because it was his attachment was his security blanket. He got
No. I think Linus carried his blanket into college and used it to bang girls in the woods. He would just lay it down.
like because it was a murder. I was like, the story was who murdered Charlie Brown.
Ah, okay.
It was a murder mystery, and like we went. I'm like, this is getting darker by the minute. I love it. It's like it was Lucy. Oh, no. Wait.
Undead Quinn saying Twiddles is trying to nest. Sometimes I'll give him a piece of paper and he'll chew on it, and he takes not now. He thinks I'm attacking him. I think he's all nervous because, like I said, it's dark in here. But
if it's dark in there, I'm with you. I'd be nervous too.
Yeah. What's up, bird?
Oh yeah, that's what it is. It's that birdie you have. It was Tweety and Snoopy. Tweety bird.
There you go. No, now you're gonna be quiet. Okay.
Yeah. Encourage him to scream in the microphone, don't you? Such a nice guy.
Okay. Here you go. Right into the mic. Mic's right here. Mic's right. No, don't bite my goddamn finger, you dumbass.
Karma.
Ay, they. Yeah.
Woodstock. That's what his name is. Woodstock.
Woodstock.
And you're pretty
Little
much
birdie. Yeah. You coming up? Come on. Come on over.
All right,
we're losing problem tonight.
We're losing viewers by the moment talking about this weird stuff.
Oh, we're okay. I don't care. Anyway, I was gonna call it towards the
look
look at this bird here. Oh
maybe
my gosh, look at that.
maybe
ready to
someday we'll
fight.
do a tier list and
He's
finish
ready
it.
to fight. Well, if you guys are ready, we can finish that other one. But yeah, I think I'll figure out a day. We'll do it. But anywho, what do we have? You've got tomorrow is our open mic, which is the same as tonight. I'll come up with a topic and then we could talk about whatever the hell.
After that, 11 o'clock p.m. Central, we'll be around Ash on Comics. We'll be talking about The Boys and along with some other comic book news. And then Tuesday night is top 5 over on the Geeky Puppet Show. Wednesday is the Fossils and some stuff on the Geeky Puppet Show too. And then Thursday is we have also the Geeky Puppet Show. Stop back again. We got basically the best books of the week. And then Friday, some readings, some stuff on there, retrospective, and then also we have stuff on here going on for night on I Love Comics.
Maybe on Tuesday, if we can do it. I know I'm going out with Elizabeth though. Gail has got some Universal tickets, so we were gonna go see the Christmas stuff there. I'll make sure the phone is all charged and everything, and maybe share some stuff out or live stream the parade or something. That might be fun. Yeah, I'll try to remember to do that kind of stuff.
I would say Friday, if you're not busy. Friday would be a good night for a tier list.
For a tier list, not a Christmas ring. Yeah, okay. I'm glad.
I would say part 2 of the Batman thing. I'm up for that.
Okay. Yeah, and then I would like to turn our attention towards like the Christmas movies and such. And
sure,
it's always fun to talk about music as well, since we can't play any of it. But there you go, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for listening to me rant a little bit. Once again, Chris, you have an open invitation anytime you disagree about anything with us. Anybody does. Yeah, specifically, Chris, since we were talking about this, if you ever want to talk about it on camera, open invitation. And on Mondays, anybody could jump on and say their piece, so long as you follow the rules. That's it. All right, and let's see. I think that's about it. So thank you very much for hanging out with us. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.
Later, people.